The Mueller Report, the play, 10 Acts of Obstruction. This play is a translation of Mueller's Report, Volume 2, Obstruction of Justice Evidence. Mueller's evidence is based on sworn testimonies, documents, recordings, and other objective evidence. The play directly translates the evidence descriptions into active dialogue. One can almost follow the Mueller Report paragraph by paragraph throughout the play. Act 5. Obstruction F in the Mueller Report, Volume 2, page 90, Trump's efforts to curtail the special counsel's investigation. Evidence number 1. Trump asked Corey Lewandowski to deliver a message to Sessions to curtail the special counsel's investigation. Trump, one-on-one in the Oval Office with his former campaign manager and devotee, Corey Lewandowski.
Can you believe that Sessions recused himself from the Russia investigation? Sessions is weak, and if I had known about the likelihood of recusal in advance, I would not have appointed him. Will you deliver a message to Sessions, direct Sessions to give a speech publicly announcing, write this down. I know that I have recused myself from certain things having to do with specific areas, but our POTUS is being treated very unfairly. He shouldn't have a special prosecutor because he hasn't done anything wrong. I was on the campaign with President Trump for 9 months, and there were no Russians involved with him. I know it for a fact because I was there. He didn't do anything wrong. He ran the greatest campaign in American history. Now, to limit Mueller's investigations, state that his jurisdiction is limited to future election interference. Write this. Now, a group of people want to subvert the Constitution of the United States. I am going to meet with the special prosecutor to explain this is very unfair and let the special prosecutor move forward with investigating election meddling for future elections so that nothing can happen in future elections. If Jeff Sessions delivers that statement, I will be the most popular guy in the country.
I understand what you want Sessions to do. I should pass this message to Sessions in person rather than over the phone. I do not want to meet at the Department of Justice because I do not want a public log of my visit, and do not want Sessions to have an advantage over me by meeting on his turf.
Lewandowski calls Attorney General Jeff Sessions.
Let's meet tomorrow evening at my office.
Okay.
Later, Sessions had to cancel due to a last-minute conflict. Shortly thereafter,
I'm leaving Washington, D.C., and have not had an opportunity to meet with Sessions to convey Trump's message. I better store my notes in a safe at home, as I always do with sensitive items.
Evidence number 2. Trump follows up with Lewandowski. Following Lewandowski's June meeting with Trump, Lewandowski and Rich Dearborn meet.
Can you pass a message to Sessions?
Sure.
Later.
Are you meeting with Sessions?
Yes, for dinner in late July. I can deliver the message then.
Trump has asked me to pass the message because he knows I can be trusted, but I believe Dearborn will be a better messenger because he has a long-standing relationship with Sessions. Also, Dearborn is in the government, while I am not.
Days before July 19, 2017.
Meeting between several Russians and Donald Trump Jr., Jared Kushner, and Paul Manafort occurred on June 9, 2016.
Trump meets with Lewandowski alone in the Oval Office.
Have you talked to Sessions as I requested?
The message will be delivered soon.
If Sessions does not meet with you, you should tell Sessions he is fired.
Immediately following the meeting, Lewandowski meets Dearborn in the anteroom outside the Oval Office.
Here is a typewritten version of the message Trump has dictated to be delivered to Sessions. These notes are the message we have discussed.
This definitely raises eyebrows for me. I do not want to ask where the message came from, or think further about doing anything with it. Being asked to serve as a messenger to Sessions makes me uncomfortable.
Later.
Did you deliver the message to Sessions?
I handled the situation. I did not deliver the message. I'm not going to. I'm not keeping a copy of the typewritten notes.
Evidence number 3. Trump publicly criticizes Sessions in a New York Times interview. Within hours of Trump's meeting with Lewandowski on July 19, 2017, Trump had an unplanned interview with the New York Times.
Sessions' decision to recuse from the Russia investigation was wrong. Sessions should never have recused himself, and if he was going to recuse himself, he should have told me before he took the job, and I would have picked somebody else. Sessions' recusal is very unfair to me. How do you take a job and then recuse yourself? If he would have recused himself before the job, I would have said, thanks, Jeff, but I can't, I'm not going to take you. It's extremely unfair, and that's a mild word to Trump.
I should throw myself between the reporters and Trump to stop parts of this interview. Yet, Trump loves the interview.
Later that day, Lewandowski and Hicks meet.
This is what I think about Trump's New York Times interview. Did you know that Trump requested that I meet with Sessions? Trump has recently asked me to meet with Sessions and deliver a message that Sessions needs to do the right thing and resign. Can you believe that Trump asked me, as a private citizen, to fire Sessions if he would not meet with me?
Trump's call interrupts Lewandowski and Hicks' call.
I am happy with how coverage of my New York Times interview criticizing Sessions is playing out.
Evidence number 4. Trump orders Priebus to demand Sessions' resignation.
U.S. intelligence intercepts showed that Sessions had discussed campaign-related matters with the Russian ambassador, contrary to what Sessions had said publicly.
That evening, Priebus calls Jody Hunt, Chief of Staff to Attorney General Sessions.
Let's talk more about whether Sessions might be fired or might resign.
We have previously talked that Trump will have to fire Sessions if Trump wants to remove Sessions, because Sessions is not going to quit. We have previously discussed that after I met with Sessions, I know that he has no intention of resigning. Yet what will Trump accomplish by firing Sessions? There is an investigation before, and there will be an investigation after.
Early the following morning, Trump tweets.
A new intelligence leak from the Amazon Washington Post, this time against AG Jeff Sessions. These illegal leaks, like Comey's, must stop.
Approximately 1 hour later, Trump tweets again.
So many people are asking, why isn't the AG or special counsel looking into many Hillary Clinton or Comey crimes? 33,000 emails deleted.
Later that morning, Trump, while aboard Marine One on the way to Norfolk, Virginia, Trump talks to Priebus.
I have to get Sessions to resign immediately. The country has lost confidence in Sessions, and the negative publicity is not tolerable. Tell Sessions that I need a letter of resignation on my desk immediately, and that Sessions has no choice but must immediately resign.
If you fire Sessions, we will never get a new Attorney General confirmed, and the Department of Justice and Congress will turn their backs on you.
I can make a recess appointment to replace Sessions.
Trump's request is a problem. I better call McGahn.
Priebus calls White House counsel Don McGahn.
I need your advice. I do not want to pull the trigger on something that is all wrong. I believe that Trump's desire to replace Sessions is driven by Trump's hatred of Sessions' recusal from the Russia investigation.
Don't follow Trump's orders. We should consult with our own personal counsel, with whom we have attorney-client privilege. We both may have to resign rather than carry out Trump's order to fire Sessions.
That afternoon, Trump speaks to Priebus.
About Sessions' resignation, did you get it? Are you working on it?
I will get Sessions to resign. My job obviously depends on whether I follow Trump's order to remove Sessions. I do not intend to carry out Trump's directive.
Later in the day, Trump again calls Priebus.
It will be a calamity if Sessions resign because I expect that Rosenstein and Associate Attorney General Rachel Brand would also resign, and you would be unable to get anyone else confirmed.
Okay, I agree to hold off on demanding Sessions' resignation until after the Sunday shows tomorrow to prevent the shows from focusing on the firing.
By the end of that weekend, Trump relented and agreed not to ask Sessions to resign. Over the next several days, Trump tweets. On July 24,
Sessions neglected to investigate Clinton. He is beleaguered.
On July 25,
Attorney General Jeff Sessions has taken a very weak position on Hillary Clinton crimes. Where are emails in DNC server and intel leakers?
On July 26,
Why didn't AG Sessions replace acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe, a Comey friend who was in charge of Clinton investigation?
Sessions prepares.
I better prepare another resignation letter, and for the rest of the year carry it with me in my pocket every time I go to the White House.
Page 97 to 98 of Volume 2 of the Mueller Report outlines the relevance of the evidence presented in Act 5 to the elements of the case for obstruction of justice. The analysis includes the principles of an obstructive act, nexus to a proceeding, and intent. The audience is encouraged to review that analysis. The Mueller Report states that substantial evidence indicates that the President's efforts to have Sessions limit the scope of the special counsel's investigation to future election interference was intended to prevent further investigative scrutiny of the President's and his campaign's conduct. As previously described, see Volume 2, Section 2b supra, the President knew that the Russian investigation was focused in part on his campaign, and he perceived allegations of Russian interference to cast doubt on the legitimacy of his election. The President further knew that the investigation had broadened to include his own conduct and whether he had obstructed justice. Those investigations would not proceed if the special counsel's jurisdiction was limited to future election interference only. The timing and circumstances of the President's actions support the conclusion that he sought that result. The President's initial direction that Sessions should limit the special counsel's investigation came just 2 days after the President had ordered McGahn to have the special counsel removed, which itself followed public reports that the President was personally under investigation for obstruction of justice. The sequence of those events raises an inference that after seeking to terminate the special counsel, the President sought to exclude his and his campaign's conduct from the investigation's scope. The President raised the matter with Lewandowski again on July 19, 2017, just days after emails and information about the June 9, 2016 meeting between Russians and senior campaign officials had been publicly disclosed, generating substantial media coverage and investigative interest. The manner in which the President acted provides additional evidence of his intent. Rather than rely on official channels, the President met with Lewandowski alone in the Oval Office. The President selected a loyal devotee outside the White House to deliver the message, supporting an inference that he was working outside the White House channels, including McGahn, who had previously resisted contacting the Department of Justice about the special counsel. The President also did not contact the acting Attorney General, who had just testified publicly that there was no cause to remove the special counsel. Instead, the President tried to use Sessions to restrict and redirect the special counsel's investigation when Sessions was recused and could not properly take action on it. The July 19, 2017 events provide further evidence of the President's intent. The President followed up with Lewandowski in a separate one-on-one meeting 1 month after he first dictated the message for Sessions, demonstrating he still sought to pursue the request, and just hours after Lewandowski assured the President that the message would soon be delivered to Sessions, the President gave an unplanned interview to the New York Times in which he publicly attacked Sessions and raised questions about his job security. 4 days later, on July 22, 2017, the President directed Priebus to obtain Sessions' resignation. That evidence could raise an inference that the President wanted Sessions to realize that his job might be on the line as he evaluated whether to comply with the President's direction that Sessions publicly announce that, notwithstanding his recusal, he was going to confine the special counsel's investigation to future election interference. End of Act 5.